Beowulf, Part 35. And then, crying his sorrow, he crawls to his bed. The world and his home hurt him with their emptiness. And so it seemed to Hrethel when Herbald was dead, and his heart swelled with grief. The murderer lived. He felt no love for him now, but nothing could help, word nor hand nor sharp-honed blade. War nor hate, battle or blood or law. The pain could find no relief. He could only live with it, or leave grief and life together. When he'd gone to his grave, Hathkin and Hygelac, his sons, inherited everything. And then there was war between Geats and Swedes, bitter battles carried across the broad sea when the mighty Hrethel slept and Ogtheo's sons thought Sweden could safely attack. Saw no use to pretending friendship, but raided and burned, and near old Rensburg slaughtered Geats with their thieving swords. My people repaid them death for death, battle for battle, though one of his brothers, my people repaid them death for death, battle for battle, though one of the brothers bought that revenge with his life. Hathkin, king of the Geats, killed by a Swedish sword. But when dawn came, the slayer was slain, and Hygelac's soldiers avenged everything with the edge of their blades. Afor caught the Swedish king, cracked his helmet, split his skull, dropped him pale and bleeding to the ground, then put him to death with a swift stroke, shouting his joy. The gifts that Hygelac gave me and the land I earned with my sword, as fate allowed. He never needed Danes or Goths or Swedes, soldiers and allies, bought with gold, bribed to his side. My sword was better, and always his in every battle. My place was in front, alone, and so it shall be forever. As long as this sword lasts, serves me in the future as it has served me before. So I killed Dagriff the Frank, who brought death to Hygelac and who looted his corpse. Hig's necklace, Wealhtheow's treasure, never came to Dagriff's king. The thief fell in battle, but not on my blade. He was brave and strong, but I swept him in my arms, ground him against me till his bones broke, till his blood burst out. And now I shall fight for this treasure, fight with both hand and sword. And Beowulf uttered his final boast. I've never known fear. As a youth I fought in endless battles. I am old now, but I will fight again, seek fame still, if the dragon hiding in his tower dares to face me. Then he said farewell to his followers, each in his turn for the last time. I'd use no sword, no weapon, if this beast could be killed without it, crushed to death like Grendel, gripped in my hands, and torn limb from limb. But his breath will be burning, hot poison will pour from his tongue. I feel no shame with shield and sword and armor against this monster. When he comes to me, I mean to stand, not run from his shooting flames. Stand till fate decides which of us wins. My heart is firm, my hands calm. I need no hot words. Wait for me close by, my friends. We shall see soon who will survive this bloody battle. Stand when the fighting is done. No one else could do what I mean to. Here, no man but me could hope to defeat this monster. No one could try. And this dragon's treasure, his gold and everything hidden in that tower, will be mine, or war will sweep me to a bitter death. Then Beowulf rose, still brave, still strong, and with his shield at his side and a mail shirt on his breast, strode calmly, confidently toward the tower under the rocky cliffs. No coward could have walked there. And then he who'd endured dozens of desperate battles, who'd stood boldly while swords and shields clashed, the best of kings, saw huge stone arches and felt the heat of the dragon's breath flooding down through the hidden entrance, too hot for anyone to stand, a streaming current of fire and smoke that blocked all passage. And the Geats' lord and leader, angry, lowered his sword and roared out a battle cry, a call so loud and clear that it reached through the hoary rock, hung in the dragon's ear. The beast rose, angry, knowing a man had come, and then nothing but war could have followed. Its breath came first, a steaming cloud pouring from the stone, then the earth itself shook. Beowulf swung his shield into place, held it in front of him, facing the entrance. The dragon coiled and uncoiled, its heart urging it into battle. Beowulf's ancient sword was waiting, unsheathed, his sharp and gleaming blade. The beast came closer. Both of them were ready, each set on slaughter. The Geat's great prince stood firm, unmoving, prepared behind his high shield, waiting in his shining armor. The monster came quickly toward him, pouring out fire and smoke, hurrying to its fate. Flames beat at the iron shield, and for a time it held, protected Beowulf as he'd planned. Then it began to melt, and for the first time in his life, that famous prince fought with fate against him, with glory denied him. He knew it, but he raised his sword and struck at the dragon's scaly hide. The ancient blade broke, bit into the monster's skin, drew blood, but cracked, and failed him, for it went deep enough, helped him less than he needed. The dragon leaped with pain, thrashed and beat at him, spouting murderous flames, spreading them everywhere. And the Geat's ring-giver did not boast of glorious victories in other wars. His weapon had failed him, deserted him, now when he needed it most, that excellent sword. Ecgtheow's famous son stared at death, unwilling to leave this world, to exchange it for a dwelling in some distant place, a journey into darkness that all men must make, as death ends their few brief hours on earth. Quickly the dragon came at him, encouraged as Beowulf fell back. Its breath flared, and he suffered, wrapped around in swirling flames, a king before, but now a beaten warrior. None of his comrades came to him, helped him. His brave and noble followers, they ran for their lives, fled deep in a wood, and only one of them remained, stood there, miserable, remembering, as a good man must, what kinship should mean.